A millionaire's son collapses in the school hallway, clutching his chest as dozens watch in shock, but no one moves. Except the janitor's daughter, a quiet girl everyone ignored. What happens next will leave you speechless. Don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories that hit your heart like this one. Asterisk at Crestwood High, where privilege walked the halls in designer shoes, and silence followed those not born into wealth. No one expected the storm that was about to strike one golden afternoon. The sun filtered softly through the large glass windows, casting long shadows across the polished marble floors where the students of the elite roamed with entitlement. Among them was Julian Hartley, son of billionaire real estate mogul Douglas Hartley, handsome, athletic, and arrogant beyond measure. Julian ruled the school not through fear but status, with a circle of sycophants who laughed too hard at his jokes, and girls who threw themselves at his feet. Meanwhile, mopping those same marble floors was Maria Lopez, the janitor's daughter, who studied there on a rare scholarship. Quiet, observant, and invisible to most, she blended into the background like she was part of the walls, though her eyes always noticed more than she let on. Julian had never spoken more than 2 words to her, and those were usually move or watch it. But Maria had grown used to being ignored, labeled, and mocked. Her father, Miguel, had worked at the school for 20 years, cleaning up after rich kids who barely knew his name. Still, he carried himself with dignity and pride, often telling Maria, "It's not who you are to them, it's who you are to yourself." That day, everything changed. It was just after lunch when Julian, laughing hard with his friends, suddenly froze mid-stride, his face contorting in pain. He clutched his chest and staggered, his body collapsing in a thunderous heap on the pristine hallway floor. For a second, there was only silence. Then panic, screams, phones pulled out, but not to call help, to record. Dozens of students gathered, gasping, whispering, pointing. But no one moved, not even his closest friends. Perhaps they thought he was joking. Perhaps they feared getting involved. Perhaps they didn't know how to help. Maria, pushing her cleaning cart down the hall, saw the chaos. She glanced at Julian, his lips turning blue, his body convulsing. Without thinking, she rushed forward, dropping to her knees beside him. "Call 911. She shouted, snapping the crowd out of there. Days, no one moved. "Now," she yelled again, and finally someone fumbled their phone. Maria tilted Julian's head, checked his airway, remembered the CPR training her father had insisted she learn. She started compressions, counting out loud, breath trembling but steady. Her hands pressed into his chest with desperation and hope. Her mind screaming, "Don't you dare die, not like this, not alone." Minutes felt like lifetimes. The ambulance sirens were still distant, and Julian had stopped moving, but Maria didn't stop. She breathed into his mouth, pressed down on his chest, over and over, and finally, a gasp. A ragged, painful inhale. His eyes fluttered. She rolled him gently to his side, tears blurring her vision. He was alive. The paramedics arrived seconds later, taking over as they loaded him onto the stretcher. They asked her what happened. She told them everything, hands shaking. A teacher finally arrived, too late. And as Julian was wheeled away, Maria sat back, exhausted, unnoticed once again, until someone clapped. Then another. And suddenly, applause echoed through the hall. The video of Maria saving Julian had already gone viral. By the time school ended, the entire city was talking about her. But the next day, things got even stranger. Julian didn't return for a week. Rumors flew about his condition, about his silence. When he finally came back, he looked different. Quieter, more thoughtful. And during lunch, in front of the entire cafeteria, he walked up to Maria and said, "Can I sit with you?" The room went silent. Maria, surprised, nodded. Slowly, he sat. "You saved my life," he said simply. Why? She looked at him and replied, because no one else would. Julian began following her around after that, not in a creepy way, but like someone waking up for the first time. He asked her about her life, her dreams, her favorite books. She was skeptical at first, but his questions were real. He apologized for everything, for the years of treating her like she didn't exist. And over time, a strange, tender friendship grew between them, but not everyone was happy. Julian's friends whispered behind his back. His girlfriend dumped him. Even his father called him home and shouted, "You're embarrassing the family over a janitor's daughter." Julian, standing up for the first time in his life, replied, "She's the reason I'm alive. That's more than I can say for anyone else." Enraged, Mr. Hartley pulled strings to have Maria expelled, accusing her of inappropriate behavior, but the public wasn't having it. The video of her saving Julian had millions of views. News channels picked up the story. Celebrities tweeted in her defense. A senator even offered her a full scholarship to any college she wanted. And then came the final twist. Julian collapsed again, this time at home. This time, doctors diagnosed him properly, a rare heart condition that had gone undetected. If Maria hadn't acted when she did, he would have died. This time, his father saw her differently. Standing outside the hospital room, watching Maria talking softly with Julian, he realized money couldn't buy what she had: courage, compassion, and the ability to see someone when everyone else looked away. He approached Maria with tears in his eyes. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "Thank you for saving my son." She nodded quietly but didn't smile. Forgiveness takes time. Months passed. Julian and Maria remained close, not as some fairy tale couple, but as something stronger, survivors of a moment that changed them both. She got into her dream university. He began funding heart research foundations and volunteering anonymously. And as for Crestwood High, they named a new wing after Maria's father, Miguel Lopez, the heart of the school. Sometimes the people you ignore are the ones who carry the greatest strength. And sometimes it takes a heart stopping to wake others up. Would you like a viral YouTube SEO package and hashtags for this story?